NEOM is a parody of the future. Yeah, this is the company behind the line.
So in case you've been living under a rock for the past month, the Saudi government has officially announced NEOM, an ultra-high-tech region of the future, made up of Trojana, an LSD user's idea of a mountain resort, the Oxagon, the floating surveillance dystopia, and of course, the Line, the futuristic line-shaped city cutting straight through the landscape. And we're going to take a look at them now. First, Trojana, which is a mountain resort on crack, complete with a huge concrete artificial lake, some bizarre mirror...
This actually looks like the stage setup from the One Piece Red film. Holy shit.
Huge concrete artificial lake, some
that's pretty
bizarre
cool.
mirror cave, a portal connecting the digital and the physical, a vertical village where people are transported by balls, some ultra-luxury housing, and the world's most advanced healthcare and well-being center to nourish both body and soul. Now, believe it or not, this is the least stupid part of NEOM and is generally feasible if we leave out all the bizarre shapes. But as soon as the Saudi dictator wants something more complicated than a mountain resort, things start going downhill pretty fast. Enter the Oxagon, a chimera of high-tech industry and residential areas, half of it floating on the sea.
So silly.
100% renewable energy, fully automated seaport, clean advanced manufacturing, research and innovation, buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. However,
this is a cognitive city that not only adapts to your needs, but will learn to anticipate them.
It's just a fancy way of saying you'll be under constant surveillance by the Saudi state. And I'm sorry, you are building in the open desert. You have virtually unlimited space at your disposal. Why is half of this thing floating on the sea? Blocking...
Because it's cool. I also like what everyone travels around on. The little hoverboards. Look at that shit. You actually travel by those little one-wheeled hoverboards. How do they make a profit? From the people living there? What do you mean? Same way like a landlord would make a profit, I imagine. Let me see where he talks about the line in particular. Oh, here we go.
Otherwise, life inside NEOM would be rather depressing. You're locked inside a narrow tube full of buildings with prying eyes on you potentially from all directions at all times. If you want to catch a breather, you can always go outside though, into the open, empty desert. Or you can take NEOM's transportation system, which is just as smart and well thought out as the rest of the project. The plan
but what about the equitable views?
The idea of transportation inside the line is a metro line, a freight rail line, and some ultra-high-speed whatever running at the bottom all along its entire length. And this is stupid for a number of reasons. First, you have...
Is this like the tubes from Futurama where they suck you up and spit you out? That's what it looks like. What is an ultra-high-speed transit? What vehicle roams these tunnels? Thanks, Resub Schmoke. Just a fast train? I guess. Maybe, yeah.
Stupid for a number of reasons. First, you have to build 170 kilometers of subway and underground freight rail, so basically 340 kilometers of double-track rail tunnels in total. And then, between those, some kind of techno-bullshit rapid transit that takes you from one end to the other in 20 minutes. So the thing would have to run at least at 510 kilometers per hour, not counting stops along the way. I've heard rumors they want a Hyperloop, you know, that thing Elon Musk admitted to be a scam to try to get California high-speed rail cancelled, but here a regular maglev would also be enough. Otherwise they would have pods, because of course they would, and also air taxis.
I feel like any kind of disaster with their system down here, like a train crash, would actually just destroy the entirety of the line. Like, I feel like it would just completely collapse the entire system.
High-speed rail cancelled, but here pods, because of course they would, and also air taxis, which has to be the stupidest, most dangerous idea of all. Running a helicopter in a narrow, semi-enclosed space like that within close proximity of public areas and housing. So not only will you go
They're very talented pilots.
From the rotor wash creating a tornado of trash and dust, you'd also get blown down into the chasm, if the thing doesn't crash into the walls first due to some erratic turbulence. So you would be using the subway for local transportation and the maglev for long distance. And this is a problem. Since we're going in a straight 170-kilometer long line, if there's any failure at any point, your system is immediately cut in half, not to mention necessary maintenance or overhauls. There would be complete chaos. This is what happens when you have a single transit line serving millions of people. Oh, you wanna ride the subway? Sorry, someone fell on the tracks 150 kilometers down, so now 5 million people are late from work. And if you need to get to the other end, but the maglev breaks down, I hope you like traveling 200 stops on the subway for 5 hours, because that's what you're going to do. And these problems could easily be solved if the line was shaped like a regular city, not a fucking line in the desert. Speaking of...
Yep, so pretty much every problem you can pretty much imagine that thing will fall victim to. But my counter argument would be, who cares? I'm not living there. Just let that future technology shit ride and see what comes from it. We could have ourselves an Elysium situation in no time. It is a stupid idea, and I welcome it. I'm all for that mad science garbage here. Make a entire city in a line, stack it on top of each other, and put some trains under it. Thanks to resub Ranson and Ann Lukey. Let me see if my friends are ready. It's starting to get kind of late for rating. Thanks to resub Pandemonium. Thanks to 2 gift subs, J Mundo. Would I live there? Absolutely fucking not. I do, however, think there is merit in the idea of building up instead of out. Like some Bioshock Infinite shit, but we're definitely not there to have like any kind of floating buildings or anything of that nature. Thanks to resub Rosea. It's just Chicago and New York, though. That's like anything but. That's like building in on itself, where everything is so fucking compact you can't move. God, I hate New York. Thanks to the resub, Sandy and Keller in the Prime Silent. Skyscrapers? Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about literally building everything going upwards. Like, just everything straight up. Oh, you need to go to work? Okay, take your space elevator up fucking 200 feet to the floating building. Thanks to resub Scar and Brood, voice crack Brood, and the gift sub Subliminalist.